Split, starring James McAvoy and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Now, we are going to give a little bit of a non-spoiler review, but we're also going to go heavy in depth in spoilers as well, and we'll let you know when that point comes. We're also going to give you a crazy-ass twist that happened in a certain other film that came out in 2000, which when we get into the spoilers portion, we're going to talk in, but also it's probably going to be in the title already of this video, so why I'm speaking in code, I don't know, but I feel like it anyways. But the point being is, we're going to give you something that I saw in a movie like it, that we talked about that came out in 2000. I'm going to give you something that I noticed in that film that really connects us even more and makes it even crazier than you already could have imagined. So when we get to the spoiler version, we'll get to that. That being said, let's talk about Split. Now, first thing I got to even mention is M. Night Shyamalan. I feel like he's back from his Sixth Sense to Unbreakable days. And, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but that last film he did, I didn't see it, but I heard that film was really good. And just from this, like, the way obviously the performance by James McAvoy is... That really is what sets this movie apart. It's mesmerizing. It's incredible.
He really puts on a truly great acting performance. Just so many different
24 different performances.
I mean, yeah, you only see some of them for... Yeah. It's really like a few main ones, but
right.
Even so, like, just everything about his performance was just really, really well done, and I gotta give him props for that.
Being these personalities too, like, you just really buy that he's all these personalities. Like, you really feel like he's Patricia or he's Hedwig or Dennis or Kevin or whoever he's playing. Like, you really feel like he's these characters. It's just it kind of reminds me, and you're the one who made this point, so I'm gonna give you credit for it, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of Heath Ledger in terms of where you see this actor playing a role, but you don't see the actor at all. He's totally become the character into this character. Yeah, so from that perspective, I don't personally think he's going to get nominated for Best Actor, but damn it, he really deserves it.
He kind of at least should be nominated.
Yeah, and again, I know when I'm saying he deserves it, it's like there's still like 9 or 10 and a half more months of performances, so there could obviously be...
At least in the conversation.
He definitely deserves to be in the conversation because he's insanely incredible in this film.
Probably the best performance that he's given.
I love that it's a psychological thriller, and it's very suspenseful, and it's a very claustrophobic film. In certain scenes, you get really uncomfortable, and you have a lot of tension-filled stuff going on.
Yeah, and there's suspense. It's just like a very action-packed, like not super action-packed, but it's definitely thrilling and intense.
Yeah. And also too, I thought the pacing was pretty good too, and a lot of the camera work, some really interesting choices by M. Night Shyamalan.
Some of it is a little bit slow, but like it's not a bad thing. It's just the way the movie moves along.
It's building up the characters more, which I like, because these characters are interesting. It doesn't come off and feel slow, which is why the pacing still feels like it's on par for me.
I think the pacing was good.
No, you're right. There are a few slow moments in the film, but again, because you're so invested in these characters, it doesn't feel slow. It just moves at a rapid pace.
And just the style that this movie is sort of that kind of like. It's not super like action. It doesn't have a lot of high moments until really the very end. So it's like it's kind of keeping that pace going, but still in a slow way.
Yeah. That being said, I kind of want to get right away into the spoiler-ish talk verse of this whole conversation.
So if you haven't seen this movie, just go see it and then watch the rest of our video.
Yeah, definitely. That being said, now we're gonna get into spoilers talk. I'm sure all you already knew who are already watching this. This is connected to the Unbreakable universe, of course. Before we even get into that really quick, I do want to mention, I can't think of the actress's name right off the top of my head, but the main character, I thought she was really well cast in this film. She's an incredible character. I love when we go into the backstory of this character and we see how haunted she is. Like a lot of the scenes where, she knows how to pee herself, or she knows how to, not to, get on him when he's like in that bad mood. She's dealt with stuff like this from her freaking disgusting pig of an uncle, So she's dealt with situations. She's got a haunted past. That's why she knows how to deal in these kinds of situations, and she's such a smart, intelligent character. So I really identified and related with her right away, and she's very sympathetic. So,
and I like the way the movie showed her subtly just knowing how to do all these things, but then you're like, oh, she's pretty smart, but then they show you they show you in flashbacks okay, now I get why this character is the way that she is. So I thought the movie did a good job with her.
Yeah, definitely. And two, also, I like how calculated the character or one of the characters of James McAvoy was. At the beginning, he was targeting those two girls because of, you know, the safe, pure environment that they came from. They hadn't been scarred like he was. He was abused as a child, you know, and obviously the main girl that we saw, the main character, she was abused too, big time. She was sexually, you know, harassed by her uncle. So, you know, she wasn't originally targeted by James McAvoy's character. By
she was
Dennis,
supposed to be picked up, and then she got the ride with them.
Exactly.
By chance.
Yeah, exactly. So I do like that perspective of it. And also, too, when James McAvoy becomes the Beast, like, I gotta say, up until they established it was in the Unbreakable universe, very cool sequences. I love how he was running like a cheetah. He had iron hides of a chest, like from a rhino, and the veins started popping out. It was real, and he was climbing walls, you know, kind of like a spider.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Or like a monkey rather, or spider, whatever. But really cool stuff. But like, again, it was kind of, for me personally, it was just a little bit leaps of logic. Like, this doesn't make sense. Once they had established,
it sort of changed the movie, like from like realistic to fantasy. In a way.
But once they established at the end that it was in the Unbreakable universe,
it just made sense.
It made total sense what was going on. It built up that that it's in this universe more, and that we're gonna see these characters face off. So I loved it from that perspective. Now, going into the Unbreakable thing that I'm about to tell you, that I haven't really seen any channels really mention, or I haven't seen too many people at all talking about. And the only reason I noticed this is I've watched Unbreakable a couple times the last few nights just because I was so invested in Split, and I wanted to kind of rewatch Unbreakable because I love that movie. And for me personally, I think it's M. Night Shyamalan's best film thus far. But that being said, I did watch it a few times the last few nights, and there's a moment in the film which we're probably going to be showing you right now. It's around the 54 minute mark in the movie. As you know in the film, Bruce Willis's character, on top of being unbreakable, he can also sense what you like, someone who's done something bad, what they've done. Like, he can sense what they've done in their past. So there's a woman and a little child walking by, and he sees that this little child has been abused. Well, as we heard in Split, James McAvoy's character was a little child when his dad was killed on the train that Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, he was on the train that got derailed at the beginning of Unbreakable. Kevin's father was also on that train. So in reality, Samuel L. Jackson's character, and this is the interesting twist, Mr. Glass, Elijah Price, he created the superhero and the villain on that train by killing Kevin's father. He created the Horde because now he was going to be abused by the mother, which created the Horde and the Beast at some point. What's interesting is he created the superhero and he created the Beast. I just love that how interesting it all ties around back into it. But again, the big twist is that Kevin is actually in Unbreakable, unless you know there's some kind of mistake. But I'm 999% sure.
Like you just said, he sees the woman who was beating her child. And the child is Kevin,
which we saw in some flashbacks and Split too.
And I also heard that, you know, M. Night Shyamalan even said he originally intended for Kevin to be a prominent character in Unbreakable, but he couldn't figure out how to do it right.
That's correct.
So basically, this was his way of just slipping him in and saving him for later. So when he made Split, now it can lead into Unbreakable too.
Exactly. He wanted a moron like me to find that picture of it and go, "Oh, look, that's Kevin from Split. There it is." You know, so.
Well, it's just crazy that he had that seed planted already.
It's kind of like a George Lucas-esque move.
He planted the seed in 2000. Now he made a legitimate movie in Split where, you know, he totally fleshed out this character when we didn't even know it was him at the time. So,
and I gotta say this too, as amazing as that is to see Kevin on there, and like to see, and also too why I think it's Kevin. Besides the fact that we see the little kid being, and it would age up to around where Kevin was, because Kevin was a little boy when his father got killed on that train. You see the camera focus in on him, and we watched it a few times.
They even show a second shot.
A second time they go to him, and they show Bruce Willis really staring at him. I know M. Night Shyamalan, when he does something in a film, there is a purpose and a reason behind it. And that is a clear foreshadowing for that's Kevin. They've met before. So I thought that it is such a brilliant stroke that he knew that in 2000. And like watching it now in 2017, it's like when you're watching that in 2000, you see him just passing the case, like, oh, the kid's being, you know, child abused. That sucks, but you know, it's but it's cool that Bruce Willis noticed that. Too bad he couldn't do anything about it at that certain time. But now when you watch it, just the full circle that comes around, it's just such a brilliant move. And it totally just
breathes new life into Unbreakable again. And obviously they're going to come out with another movie, so which is a great thing.
And rewatching Unbreakable made me appreciate not only Unbreakable so much more, but it made me appreciate Split that much more too. Yeah. There's just so much going on that fit in the universe. Obviously, Split can stand on its own. It's a great film. It's a great film actually on its own. It's a suspenseful suspenseful psychological thriller.
Just and the connection to Unbreakable just allows you to comprehend why he actually turned into a real beast, which I thought was sick, by the way, too. Because when I was watching it, like I basically, like you said, you had the reaction that you couldn't really like. It kind of took you out of the movie a little bit when he turned into the beast. But for me, like I just feel like they kept building up the beast so much in this movie that I was like, if he like ends up not being a sick ass beast, like I'm gonna be a little disappointed. And he actually was awesome. So
like I feel you, but like now that it makes sense,
and the fact that it does make sense in the universe, I was just like, all right, even better. So.
No, totally what you said makes sense. But from that perspective, I also feel too that I was thinking more like just it's metaphorical. It's more metaphorical.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was thinking like I don't know if he's actually
but the fact that it's in the Unbreakable universe, I'm glad that what happened, he turns into the beast because I can't wait to see David Dunn whoop his ass. But the only thing is, but I will say this, the only thing is Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass, he's going to be on the side of the beast because he's the arch nemesis, and also he knows David Dunn's weakness is water. So he's the brains of the beast, because the beast is the same muscle as kind of, if you will, as David Dunn, in terms of he's got that impenetrable strength when he's the rhino.
Massive. He's huge.
Yeah, so but to see that battle face off, because you saw Bruce Willis watching on the TV and it looked like he's drinking that sip of coffee and he's going to go off hunting for this beast.
Yeah.
And also too, one amazing, incredible shot that Jason and I noticed. When you watch the end of Split, right before they go into the James Newton Howard's incredible score of Unbreakable, just to let you know it is for sure connected before we see the Bruce Willis scene, you see Kevin, or Dennis rather, whoever he is at the time, he's doing Kevin, Hedwig, and Patricia. Yeah. He's doing the holy shit, this is awesome. It's just, but you see his, like, what M. Night's doing is what he did in Unbreakable. When he showed Samuel L. Jackson, aka Mr. Glass, a lot of shots would be of Samuel L. Jackson in the glass. When he's born,
like, you see the reflection.
You see him in the glass reflection. When you see James McAvoy's character in the end here,
two different mirrors.
There's two different mirrors, which leads me to believe it's a foreshadowing. He's going to be working with Mr. Glass. So totally. Just again, M. Night Shyamalan he's just doing so much interesting foreshadowing and so many cool Easter eggs and so much cool full circle coming around. Just really incredible stuff, and it just makes me love and appreciate Split that much more, and Unbreakable too. And I just want to see Unsplittable or Unbreakable 2 or whatever it's going to be called. I'm so interested and invested in this. Like, I can't wait. Also, one other thing I do want to mention, I thought it was very interesting and very incredible with how they left off the girl's story with our main character.
Oh, yeah.
At the end where
the cop asked her, her uncle's ready to pick her up or something, and she's like, I ain't going back.
Well, it's like, look what she just dealt with. Now she's going to go back to her uncle.
She just dealt with the beast. I think she can deal with her uncle now. Like, she it just kind of clicked in her head. She's like, look what I just did. I feel like my uncle is like not going to be that bad.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Is she going to be in the next movie? Let us know in the comments. I want to know if you guys think she's going to be in the next movie. If she is, great. I mean, I was invested.
Cool. Yeah, it's not like it has to.
Yeah, if they don't, if they leave the story where it is, I'm totally fine with that, because again, I want to see David Dunn versus the Beast, and also Mr. or AKA Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass.
All the rest of the characters in Kevin, like, you know, interacting maybe potentially with him also. So it's like the Beast is the only one he might face off against.
But yeah, as we said, just some really cool connections from, as we said, Kevin's dad being on the same train as Bruce Willis, and then you see the flowers. It's very felt like Bruce Wayne, where he leaves the flowers in Crime Alley where his parents were killed. James McAvoy's character does the same thing, leaves the flowers for his dad on the train, which he was on the same train as David Dunn, Bruce Willis's character. So that's a really interesting thing. Kevin, as we broke the news, guys, that Kevin is in Unbreakable, again, the 53-54 minute mark.
It is something that definitely makes sense, and it's kind of cool connection that he planted that seed even way back then.
And again, but what I find so interesting about that is when they do meet head to head, James McAvoy and Bruce Willis, it's like we've met in that. They're not going to remember. I don't know if they're going to remember me in the past. They didn't really meet, but just walking by, it's just such a cool little thing. It's just like a second or two long, but it's so interesting. So just again, I love the connections and the Easter eggs. So now, getting to our score, the direction is really incredible by M. Night Shyamalan. The performance by James McAvoy is sensational. I really hope he gets some Oscar merits. I don't personally think he's going to get the best Oscar nod, just because I know the Academy Awards, and ever since they screwed over Robert Shaw and Jaws, I have lost so much respect for them. But the point being, I hope he gets nominated. He was incredible. The girl actress is escaping my mind. She was outstanding too. I thought she gave a phenomenal performance. I loved the character's backstory. The characters were interesting. The pacing was very good. The camera work was intense. The story was really good. It was a very interesting psychological thriller. I'm going to give this film Split a 9.1 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 9 also. James McAvoy, just like you said, put on a great performance. He really is what made this movie work because this whole movie is basically about this one character who is such an amazing and unique character. It's really great to see it on film. The rest of the characters were pretty good too, for the most part. The storytelling was really good, and it was just very, fun movie to watch. Like, it's slow at times, but still suspenseful and had intense moments, and at the end, had one big action scene basically, which was pretty cool, and I thought it was done pretty well. So I'm gonna go with a 9 on this movie. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for this video. Let us know if you like this movie in the comments section, and if you like these videos, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.